So emissive shaders. So emissive, you can think of this as kind of like a light. It's going to emit illumination. So basically all we have to do here, I'm going to go ahead and disconnect this alpha. I'm going to just go to my emission and then turn this way up like this. I'm just going to go ahead and turn off my base color completely. So now you can see here, okay, emissive, this is a value that essentially doesn't get affected by light. It is catching specular highlight right now, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that off as well. So now it's just like we're basically in Photoshop mode where it's just a solid color, doesn't actually get affected by anything. One really quick thing I want to go over really quick with transparency is that if you have two transparent objects, they're not going to refract each other by default. So if we just switch this over to opaque, and opaque will now get that refraction going with this emissive card. We'll get more into that as we go. But right now it doesn't look very emissive, right? It's not going to emit diffuse rays, but it will emit reflectivity. So if we go to something like our background right here and we simply go up on our specular and then tone down this, you'll see that, okay, we're starting to get some emissive rays coming off of here. But it's really not a lot. So I don't like to use this emission slot. I'm going to show you guys the more manual way to do this. So if we simply just do Shift A and then search and then do emissive, we can actually just grab an emissive shader. And we're going to cover more of this stuff in the next chapter. But if I just simply plug this in, we now have, if we can plug this in there, but now what we have here is this strength, which we don't actually have access to right here. So now what we can do is go up to something like 20, for example, and boom, now you can see, okay, we can see that it's going to be emitting light because we can see this on our reflection right there. But something's missing still, right? If we go into our render properties, we can turn on bloom. Just by turning this on, we're now going to be getting more of an emissive effect. So we can see some like atmosphere coming off of this thing. There's some properties in here. I'll just go over these really quick. Radius, how far that atmosphere is going to go. Intensity, I would say the most common ones are really just going to be intensity and radius. Generally speaking, you want color just to stay white because you want the color coming from the actual emission itself. So we have emissive here, then we have emissive here. This is a PBR shader, and we're going to start breaking down PBR versus non-PBR workflows, which is what we just did here with this single emission shader in the next chapter.